Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I am Shanique.
This is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, and.
Whatever the hell we find interesting that day, we're kind of just winging it. And today is one of those really interesting picks. Air quotes on that one.
All right, so today's episode. Actually, before I get into that, hit us up on Twitter at Echo U Podcast. You can send us suggestions, leave comments. Um, we do read them, so don't worry. You don't leave comments and we like, fuck that. No, but yeah, send us suggestions, likes, comment, share our videos, our podcasts, to other people, get the word out. So today's episode is about the highly anticipated joint album by Kanye West and Kid Cudi called Kids See Ghosts. Now, if you're streaming this, a lot of the streaming sites had the wrong titles, which I send it to Michael. Write songs just in the wrong title order. But so just keep that in mind if like you looked at Spotify and was like, what the fuck? um, so
I think Spotify still has it unchanged as of this recording too. I'm pretty sure they have the incorrect song listing. Cause when you sent it to me, that was the one I was using when I listened to the album, and I was like, I guess like it don't matter if she's right. Like all the songs are still there, just shuffled around a little bit.
it's funny because I re-listened to it and Spotify did fix it. It's just that the way they stored the album is hard to find the right version one. Like I was like, what the hell? Why did the song titles like switched up? And then I looked online. I was like, oh, okay. So I actually listened it to with the right song titles. It just if you went on early, you would have saw that like the song titles all fucked up and weird. But let's get into this. So, hmm, this album, I'm gonna give it a C. And here's the thing: it's not that it's a bad album. It's not an album for me. It's really not. It's not. It doesn't like. I'm not annoyed at it. I'm just saying this is not an album that I particularly like. Now I've always had a love hate relationship with Kid Cudi. Sometimes I like his shit. Sometimes I don't. So I thought maybe with Kanye West it would make me like his shit more, and I just realized it's just gonna stay that way. I thought the collab between them is fine. I thought the beats were like really good. The production is solid, which of course is Kanye, so of course the production is solid. Um, Kanye had a lot of good verses. Even Kid Cudi had a couple good verses here and there. The choruses were really good, but overall songs, they just weren't for me. None of them really blew me away. In my opinion, Yay is a better album.
I agree.
So yeah, I'm gonna give this a C. I just think it's just not an album for me, and so I didn't enjoy it as much as I could. What do you think of this album, Michael?
Just because we got Ye, like I think like last week or something like that, I was like, all right, we had a decent amount of Kanye, and Kid Cudi is someone we don't really hear from too often, and I'm like, I feel like he's just one of those low key guys who has like plenty of growth still left in him, even though he's technically been in the game for a good minute. Had a couple hits here and there, more so like those pop rap kind of hits, but hits nonetheless. But I'm like, all right, it's time to see, where he's standing at. So I feel like I went to this album mostly with my eyes on Kid Cudi. Now, however, I don't know how to explain this. I'm kind of in this weird place where like I like both of the artists individually, and I like them collabing as well. But I'm gonna have to disagree with Shanique on one thing here. I wasn't a huge fan of some of the production quality on this, and I think it might be maybe like a creative direction too. Because one of the songs was just straight up gun sounds
Blah!
being yeah, I was like, I don't know where we're heading with this. And Shanique was also right about another thing, but a lot of them just don't. Not saying a lot of them, but pretty much the whole thing is not a lot of standout songs in this. Not, I think there's only like one that I actually liked a whole lot above the rest. But for a Kid Cudi slash Kanye album, I'm just like, I was expecting fireworks. So it kind of just dropped me down to a C plus. I'm like, there's no way I was gonna put it into a B range because like, for first of all, it's like 7 songs as well. So, and some of the songs I think were like 2.5 minutes long. So, you can probably get through this entire album in an hour. And I don't think this was one of those quality versus quantity versus quality things. This one just pretty much was just, skimping on quality a bit and skimping on quantity a bit as well. So it's kind of hard for me to give it anything higher than that.
Okay. So, all right. So let's just guess each other's favorite. So we're only gonna do just our top song on the album, if you have one. I'm gonna think yours is Fourth Dimension.
Ah, no, that's a good pick though.
Well, that's mine. So that's why I went with.
That actually would be my second pick if I had one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll start on mine. Mine is Fourth Dimension featuring Louis Prima. I thought. Now I will say this: this is not Kanye West's best verse. His best verse is like towards the later half of the album, and his flow was really good. I thought his his verse was really solid. I love the little freaky laugh in there too. It sounded like something from like a horror movie. And I like how Kid Cudi started rapping over it a little bit. And I thought Kid Cudi's verse, I thought this song had Kid Cudi's best verse in the entire album, where you just wasn't singing. Solid beat. It's a song that's most memorable in the sense that like it feels like a whole song to me. So yeah, Fourth Dimension is my topic. What do you think of Fourth Dimension?
Fourth Dimension was it was solid. It's one of those 2.5 minute songs I was talking about, which kind of made me feel like, dang man, this is not the time to be putting like a short song on a short album kind of thing. Because the 2.5 album thing, 2.5 minute thing wasn't really vibing well with me. But I did like the weird little intro that it had with like the like weird 50s radio music going on or whatever. Cause I was like, all right, Kanye loves his sampling, let him sample. As far as their verses individually, they're fine, short and sweet. That's really much as I can give it though, short and sweet.
Okay. So what is your number one? What's your favorite song on this album?
I actually went with, if you listen to if you paid read between the lines what I said earlier, I was here for Kid Cudi. Mine's actually the Cudi montage.
Really? That's funny because I think that's one of the worst songs on the album.
I,
That's the
I mean,
great.
that's fine. I mean, it's you, but like I dug it for some reason, man. Like it started off weird with like the slow guitar thing, and like it did kind of like end up being one of the album's slower paced songs as well. But I felt like Cudi's verse is kind of like shown out enough for him to be like, okay, if people forgot what Kid Cudi sounded like, in my opinion, this is a good way to remind everybody about what he actually sounded like, what his kind of flow was like, what kind of music he sounds best on. Not necessarily like super OD hip hop beats, no, like not necessarily like a trap beat, but like a weird like if rap had like a more exaggerated indie sound, this would probably be it for Kid Cudi.
It's funny
But
because
that's
like, go. What were you saying?
go ahead, no, go ahead. I'm done.
Okay, so yeah, Cudi's montage. When I read the name, I'm like, okay, this is Kid Cudi's time to shine because to me, honestly, most of this album, Kanye West outshined him completely. Um, Kanye verse was very solid on it. Kid Cudi's, I agree with you being a solid verse, but overall, I like the sound of the other song, even the splat one more than this one. Um, but yeah, it felt like a full song. It just the overall sound just did not work for me. Um, so let's go back. Feel the Love. Now, Feel the Love was interesting because it opens up with Pusha T, and you would not know that from like you wouldn't know he's on the song
Oh, I,
because
I did not know that actually.
that is Pusha T's voice immediately when the song opens, and he is the only one that raps on this song. And it's just like, uh, how is this a Kanye West and Kid Cudi album, and he's the only one rapping? I think maybe Feel the Love that part was probably Cudi, but the only person who raps on this song is Pusha T, which is a little weird for me. But it started off really great, and then halfway through the song, all I heard is splat, 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 like everywhere, and I'm just like, and then the song ends, and I'm just like, the fuck just happened? What the fuck did you do to me? I was like feeling after the first splat, and then after that, I was like, Where the rest of the song though? Like I felt like I gypped a little bit. Kanye was not on this song besides the production probably. Cudi I think was saying the feel the love part because I don't think he had a verse, and then Pusha opened the song. So it's an interesting song, but it shouldn't have been on this album. Like this does not showcase none of the people that the song's for. So what do you think of Feel the Love?
As much as I was making fun of it before about the whole gun sound thing, I had fun with it in a weird sense that like not because it was like a fun sounding song, but because I found it so weird. So for that reason, I got some entertainment value out of it. Now the verse was a solid all right. It was nothing, crazy about it. I did think it was Kanye because I was like, well, who else the hell would it be? So at least it got down, that taken care of. Um, and I don't mean to like tangent here, but anyway, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. But I'm wondering if this has anything to do with the whole Jay Prince thing now, where he was like, if Drake released a diss track, back to what's his name, Pusha T's Last Response, that he would take down both Pusha T and Kanye. Because I
See,
was like, why is Jay Prince talking about Kanye? I don't know much about the rap politics going on with these guys, so I was kind of confused. And I was like, oh, now that Shanique said that there's Pusha T on this one, I'm wondering what's going on here between Kanye and Pusha T that Drake knows about and we don't. Like, we need, well, not we need, but
here's
the internet
my
would appreciate the spilled tea.
here's my thing. If Drake see what I heard was that Jay Prince said he stopped Drake from releasing a track that he only Drake diss track response was only gonna be at Kanye because he can't come at Pusha. He was gonna mention him, but most of it was gonna be at Kanye. Just like the Duppy freestyle was mostly at Kanye. That's why Pusha T said, "Forget Kanye, forget ghostwriting. Let's talk. Let's go. Me and you, right?" And so I find that so like this might be controversial to like Drake fans, but that is such a pussy move. You don't attack someone's bands over them, especially when Pusha T body you the way you do, and you don't respond to him, but you respond to his friend. That's such a punk ass move, and I have no respect for that. Even if that shit dropped, I wouldn't care because I'm like, you not responding to the person who's attacking you. So it just seems dumb to me. And plus, I don't think there's nothing anyone could say now to stop Kanye West's career more than Kanye.
Pretty, and even Kanye hasn't really stopped Kanye's career. He's done plenty, and he's still in business, better than ever, if anything. So you know what?
Yeah,
That's
that's
actually a
true.
pretty fair point.
That's true. And also, like, every album he released has went number one, including Ye. They
Hmm.
said he has 8 consecutive albums. He only has 8 albums. He's never had an album that failed.
Right.
And so that's pretty impressive. Like, Drake ain't stopping that. Even if Drake shuts his career off, Kanye West don't need to make an album anymore. He could just produce and just keep it trucking. Like, he's not. That's why I'm like, if he did, the fact that he's saying that people are trying to prevent him from dropping it means that shit don't exist. Cause how you get bodied that bad, and don't drop a diss track that's so good? Like I've never seen that a day in my
Well,
life.
it's according to what I've read, it's apparently because of his producer. His producer is saying don't do it, and apparently they have like this respect thing going on with each other. That if his producer said it, Jay Prince, then Drake is gonna be like, all right, bet. I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna just take this heat right now and just go about my business.
That
Now
shit don't
he's and, and,
exist.
and, and, and like you said, I think it's one of those things. I'm talking to my sister about this. It's one of those things where it's like someone shouting, hold me back. But it's like, why are you putting yourself in that position if you have that much on you
But he don't.
to? And first of all, I'm gonna just say this too. If Jay Prince really knew that what was going on, I wouldn't even told nobody about that. Like, if that's the case, just make it look like Drake just doesn't have anything to do with responding. Instead, he went ahead and made it look like, well, if he did say something, it would have been fire. No, like now you're just talking your talking yourself, talking I'm sorry, eat my words today. You're hyping your friend up in a fight
Yeah,
that they already lost.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, people's like, yo, Pusha T just walked up and snuffed the shit out of Drake, and he couldn't do anything. He just
Right.
wobbling, and like, and the thing is, And people were comparing to Nicki Minaj and Remy Ma. That's kind of true. Remy was real mean with it. She punked her on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But and the fun and then Nicki Minaj respond with no frauds, which was trash. But Duppy was good response to Infrared. And then
Mhm.
the story of Adidon was a hell of a good response to Duppy. And the funny, if you listen to Duppy, is mostly about Kanye, and that's why I don't really think Duppy is actually as good of a diss as people saying it is. You're not even attacking the man's that's coming at you. You're attacking everything around him. And so,
Okay.
if
Did
he
I miss?
did, huh?
Did I miss something? Why is he going after Kanye anyway?
He had nothing else to do. Like he can't.
Okay, but like that's just like, okay. There's gotta be a reason he targeted Kanye specifically. Like, why not literally anybody else?
I don't know, and it's kind of weird because the hooks on, I heard that the hook on Yikes, Drake wrote it. So I'm like, if you wrote Kanye's hook on his recent album, like what the fuck? That's why I'm like, nah. And like, I heard that his new shit would be mostly it would end Kanye's career. I'm like, that's virtually impossible. Ether couldn't end Jay
Yeah,
Z. Takeover
for
couldn't
real.
end Nas. Like that's just not gonna do anything. Hell, Hit 'Em Up, probably the one of the most disrespectful diss tracks that ever
I
be
think that
made.
started rap beefs. That's like started rap beefs, or at least took it to another level, and never got met since then.
Yeah, I mean, before Hit 'Em Up, you had I think No Vaseline and shit, but and like a lot of other ones. But Hit 'Em Up, probably the one of the most disrespectful diss tracks. That didn't stop Biggie. So I don't think as someone as big as Kanye, there's no diss track that can stop him. I don't think there is because people talk shit about him all the time, and it just doesn't. People just buy his shit and keep going. So I just think if his diss track was mostly gonna be about Kanye, it's just a punk move. Cause he can't really say shit to Pusha T. Pusha T don't have skeletons. So all he can do is the I make more money than you, I sell more records, yada yada. The same thing Nicki Minaj does. I have more hits, yada yada. But they can't really say anything else about any of these artists.
Yeah, that's not a Sheether, right? Like, you gotta have a Sheether response, not a number response. Like, I'm more popular, sure, but you got bodied. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's really like, and that's why like even in Nicki Minaj's response, she went after not another one instead of Sheether because you can't touch Sheether. She did talk about people. I think a lot of people who like rock for like Nicki says Papoose wrote Sheether. There's no
Right,
real
right,
proof of
right.
that. There's no real proof of that, and it's just something to say. But that's how they get over it. They're like, well, Papoose wrote that. Like, there's no proof. You just have no. There's nothing to respond to. You can't
You,
respond to Sheether.
you gotta redirect the heat to somewhere else. Like, all right, if I can't, come give you the heat, I'm gonna give somebody else the heat. But my thing is, let me just get this straight. Don't get in no kind of beef with Papoose. This is a New York nigga who been rapping for a minute now too.
Oh yeah, he's
I'm
beast
pretty sure.
mode. He's beast
I'm
mode.
pretty sure. Right. I'm pretty sure. I mean, my thing is, ever since I heard the alphabet of death or whatever it is, I forgot. Damn. What was it, yo? Anyways, it's pretty much a rap he came out with, like, where he rapped each letter of the alphabet all the way A through Z. I'm like, all right, your skills are there. You don't want to have someone come to them about, like, anything about, like, putting their name in your mouth on your own song now when you're trying to talk shit, especially about their wife. Anyway, that's just me. I
Yeah, like,
digress.
and that's what we're seeing. Like, the more poppin' like artists, they can't really come at someone who can actually rap other than talk about money. And actually, I think Drake and Nicki can rap. I think Drake. What people don't remember about the whole Drake thing is when he came out with "Charged Up" to come at Meek. That shit was like, it was like, eh. That was the same thing as
Right,
not another one to me. And then, but then Back to Back came out. It was so savage that's what people remember. They don't remember the other one. They
right.
literally don't. But I hope that Drake comes out with something, but I know he's not because he gotta switch his. He has an album coming out. He gotta switch to promoting that shit. And maybe he'll be like, oh, but on my album there might be a response, and then make that money.
Multitask, man.
Exactly.
Because for me, I mean, for real, hell, one of his a diss track never really got nominated for a Grammy before.
Yeah,
So that kind of said, not only did you get bodied on the song, but the song's about to get an award. So you're about to get someone else about to get an award for bodying you, and this is a real thing. Like, we done talking about Meek. I mean, Meek's already old news. I'm sorry for bringing it up, guys, but it's what it is.
yeah, they're just three examples of current beefs that like, you know. But yeah, in my opinion, Pusha T won that. Nothing Drake could say, especially if his beefs is about, especially if his track's mostly about Kanye. There's nothing he can say to top the story of Adidon. There's literally nothing he can say. If it's about someone else, it don't count. That's how I feel about it.
I would agree.
Yeah, but back to our regular scheduled program. Um, um, next one, Fire, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I like how Kanye West comes in first, right? I thought his verse was on point. I like he came in really strong. I love the beat. Kid Cudi's verse too short. Like I was like, nigga, this song's already short, and then you're gonna have a short verse on it. I wanted more, but I love Kid Cudi's part the most on this record. What do you think of Fire?
I would say that I would go for Kanye's part over Kid Cudi's because I'm disappointed in what you just said as well. Already a short album, and they're also like, it's like, oh man, you're getting half a burger, and not only that, but you're only getting one bun. And I'm like, come on, yo, like we already got half the damn thing to work with here. So I don't know. I think this is one of them songs that also banked on the sound and like the production sound in the background. Cause there was like a long gap in the song where like nothing was going on. It was just showing off the beat. And don't get me wrong, the beat's all right to work with if it did more with it.
Yeah, I feel that. It's funny. I think a lot of these beats are hard to rap on. So, and I was just like, like I love artists who like take chances with beats. And Kid Cudi and Kanye, I think, can handle these type of beats because he loves to sample.
Hmm.
But I wanted the song to be more about them and less about the beat. So that's my only issue with Fire.
All right.
Next one, Free. Ghost Town.
Free.
I know, Ghost Town Part 2. First of all, I didn't like Ghost Town Part 1. Okay? It's too sad. It's not a bad song, it's just too sad for me. Ghost Town Part 2. Oh, the singing was so bad on the song. I hated it. Kanye West's singing is bad. Like, 808 Heartbreak was better than any type of singing he did on this song. Kid Cudi was fine because I'm used to him doing it, but I did like the rock beat on it. But other than that, and maybe the chorus was fine. But that singing by Kanye West destroyed that song for me. I can't do it. What do you think of Free?
I do like the rap grunt sound of it. Like I think that's one of the things that stood out to the most to me. Because on the last song that we did, I don't really. Granted, it was show off the song, and like how hard it is to rap on it. But it was just a good sound. This one is like a unique one because I'm like, not only are you going to try and put verse on top of it, but it's not necessarily a sound that's used pretty often in hip hop or anything like that. Much less for two giants like Kid Cudi and Kanye. Now, I would agree. I think that the overkill on the singing and the free in the song was a little extra, and it's crazy because this is one of the songs that have like a regular runtime. I was like, really? This is not one of the 2.5 minute songs. I think you just padded it with a whole bunch of weird shit.
Free.
But yeah, and it's weird. I think outside of that, I actually like everything else about the song. I just don't really like the whole, what you said, the singing and them holding the whole free note that long.
And
I feel like it comes off to me as like a stoner song at that point.
yeah, and like it's funny because that's most of the song though. So it's like
That's the problem.
that is
So
the
in
problem.
reality, it really is a 2.5 minute song. So I can't even really say nothing now for real.
Like I'm just like, yo, what is this singing? Kanye West should never sing like this again. Like
If he didn't learn from 808s, he's gonna keep doing it. It's alright.
no, but 808 was better because he used auto-tune for his voice. This sound like what he did on what is that song? Toast for the douchebags. That song.
Ah yeah.
It
He
sounded
might
like
just
what
not
he
know better,
did
yo.
on that song 10 times worse. And I was just like, don't do this no more. I don't want to hear you sing like this ever again. Use auto tune for your voice. Be like Lil Wayne. Speaking of Lil Wayne, congratulations. You won your settlement. The Carter 5 can finally come out. Um,
Hey, that's what's up. I ain't heard about that.
yeah, yeah. They were like, Birdman, you a piece of shit. Let this man pay him his money. He only got 10 mil, I heard. And
I like it's the only tell. I mean, granted, 10 million is a lot of money, to us, and maybe not so much to them. But listen,
but
don't get me started on what I can do with 10 mil.
yeah, but at least he could release his album and get paid a
Right,
good
right,
money.
right, right. That's true. You can make a lot more money on top of your actual, work now.
Yeah, I hope the Carter 5's on point though, cause Lil Wayne been sucking like ass lately. No offense to
I,
Lil Wayne fans.
I honestly didn't really feel Carter 4, but you know what? We'll see what Carter 5 has.
The only good Carter is Carter 3. I'm just saying
I
that.
I agree.
But yeah, so congratulations, you guys. You get your Carter 5, hopefully this year or early next year.
That's some high hopes. We haven't heard Lil Wayne even on a feature in a long time. What's the last thing Lil Wayne did?
Well, he don't want to have Birdman get any money. So he's
Oh,
like,
well,
I'm not rapping. He's like,
You
fuck you,
absolutely.
I'm not rapping.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's free. Free! Like Kanye West on this album. Exactly. Next one, Reborn. Kid Cudi sounded real good on the chorus. I like the
I agree.
meaning of the song. It's, based about moving forward. Now, Kanye West's verse was really good on this track. I actually enjoyed it. And this has had one of the best beats on the entire album. So, what do you think of Reborn?
Reborn, I also believe was pretty solid in itself as well. Um, Kid Cudi starting the whole thing off and taking over for most of the song was pretty cool too. Um, it came off really positive to me. Just keep moving forward, keep moving on from what the hell's going on. Um, it didn't come off as repetitive. It actually came off as pretty, catchy, and I kind of wanted to sing along with it for real. The sound behind it was worked pretty fine. And if I had my three, I'd probably choose this one, Fourth Dimension, and Yakety Slacks. I'm already forgetting the name of it.
Cudi's
Uh,
montage.
Cudi's montage. There we go. The one with Cudi mainly on it, but Cudi's montage.
Yeah. Next one. This one will be in my top three. Kids See Ghosts. I actually really enjoyed this chart. Only because probably.
Interesting.
Well, to me, this song had Kanye West's best verse on it. It was a solid verse. I don't think anyone. This is actually the best verse on the entire album, to me. Was Kanye West's part. The sample was interesting. I was like, I don't know if I would have picked that sample. But hey, to each their own, right? Um, I like the metaphor was interesting. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this metaphor, but I'm still interested in the song. I like the production of it. Of course, Kanye West was great. Kid Cudi was really good on it, and yeah. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed Kids See Ghosts. If I had to pick my top three, it would be Fourth Dimension, Kids See Ghosts, and oddly enough, Fire. So, what do you think
Okay.
of Kids See Ghosts?
Kissy Ghost was pretty good too. But in the sense of what you said, the thing you said was the most positive about it was the only thing I found positive about it. Granted, I thought the sound was interesting as well, but Kanye's verse might be the only thing I come into this song for.
Yeah, but it's like most
I'm
of the
not saying.
song, is it not?
Is it most of the song? I mean, it didn't
I
come off
thought it was a
that way,
long.
but
I thought it was a fucking long verse. But it actually no. I'm sorry. It's not most of the song. The chorus where he's like "Kids See Ghosts," like that's a lot of the song.
okay, well, that's kind of where I'm at with this song. It's not a bad thing, but that's what it is.
Yeah, to be honest, Kanye's part is the only reason to really listen to this song. But yeah. So we have reached the end of the album. um, overall review: don't buy this shit. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie to you. Do not buy this album. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna buy one song on this album. But I still say listen to it because, just because like I said, this album's not made for me. I do not like this album too tough. It's not a bad album. It's not made for me. It's not like Amigos where I'm like, this is trash. This is not trash to me. It's just, Not something I can listen to like all the time. You know, I say listen to it, but I would not waste my money and buy it, and that's me being really honest. What do you think of this, Michael?
I feel like, unfortunately, because like of the 7 songs on it and the quality, it's a album that you have to cherry pick out of, and it sucks because you have to cherry pick out of 7 songs. So it's not like you had that much choices in the first place to be cherry picking. So if you get a chance, I suggest if you're curious about what Kid Cudi sounds like these days, or you're just interested in the collab sound, go for it. But let me let you know right now, you're pretty much going in here to find mostly interesting sounds and not necessarily like full packages all the way through. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yes, I 100% agree with you on that. So let's close out this podcast. Hit us up on Twitter at Echo U Podcast, where we take suggestions, comments, like repost our shit. Also, you can find us on social media sites, including iTunes, SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, at Echo Underground Podcast. And if you want to listen to us on your phone, we are on all podcasting apps at this point under Echo Underground Podcast. And we will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Yeah.